Yeah, no, I believe Johanne, having missed those events is out of reach of making that cut line. So really she's just looking to tap back into some great competitive form, and I think that's what makes her so deadly in this heat. Certainly not afraid to throw everything she's got at tricky end sections. We've seen her pull off, I think, on the women's side, some of the strongest finishes to big rides out here than anyone.
She's on a bit of a comeback now, and she's finally feeling like she's on top of her game.
Well, let's see how she's feeling on the first ride of the day. It's going to be the two-time world champ, Tyler Wright. And let's see if she can finish this one off strong, carving through the pocket. Just looking very strong and solid on her feet at this stage as she climbs the roof, and she opts out of that one. But, again, cold morning, cold feet, cold wax, a lot of wind out there, and she did pretty well on that ride, Bugs.
Right out here, Flick, and there's Tyler in full flight.
Yeah, I actually like this opener, good way to get your feet in the wax, a couple of nice calves strung together, and this is this inside section you're talking about, Bugs. I mean, yeah, the bottom was already dropping out, and I guess maybe she could see something we couldn't and decided to get on out of there.
Anytime a surfer, Bugs, with their big frontside calves is getting back and kind of involving themselves in that white water, those turns are placed in a critical position. She has a score on the way. It's going to be a really positive start. You get the feeling there'll be some restraint first wave of the day from the panel, but I think it'll log in somewhere maybe in the 6-point range for her, as we see Johanne now looking for an answer on the opening exchange here. Heat 3, the round of 16, looking to set up the bottom half of the bracket in the quarterfinals. Of course, the first two quarters look amazing. Bronte McCauley, another strong effort from her. As a wild card, she'll take on Molly Picklum, the current world #1 in the first quarterfinal heat. Carissa Moore.
Why she does this now, because she's got a couple of world titles. She's won a lot of events, and here she goes now, up and riding.
Looking to back up the 7. So the response from Johanne Defay was a 2.83. Tyler in a really solid position here to post a great heat score total on her first two rides, driving up into this section. Goes that layback jam. Just a high percentage manoeuvre for the surfers. They can really lay some power into it without fear of kind of risking the finish.
Is they're looking for a slight taper, and Tyler's picked a beauty here.
Just looks so comfortable on these bigger walls, doesn't she?
Yeah. I love the way that she's just transitioning through these turns. There's not much bawbling going on. It's just like straight from one turn straight into the next one. Nice flow. Here we're getting another replay of this first section here, but just burying the rail on that first turn and bringing it around for another carve on the open face here. But yeah, she just looks in control.
Felicity, the equipment, it looks like she's jumped on a slightly bigger board. It just looks like it's cutting through these big walls. So clean, so beautiful.
Yeah, and I love this last turn here. Just mixing it up. Like I said before, she probably knew that she needed to do something slightly different, and she did it. Yeah.
And Tyler had to withdraw from the event due to illness, and John obviously suffered that knee injury, so it kind of derailed their campaigns again in 2022, and I think that's the reason we haven't seen those two surfers in the Rip Curl WSL finals just yet, but they're going to be deadly if they can get there, as we see Johanne up now, just looking for replies. Coming into this heat, these two surfers coming from very different places as far as their performances in the opening round go. Tyler was so switched on, excellent scores, the Johanne that we expect to see in competition. Great bottom turn there, though.
Yeah, great bottom turn. I like the first two turns here. It looks well put together, but yeah, she just kind of couldn't really make it happen on this end section. I mean, the bottom kind of dropped away and maybe a bit late to that last turn here, but these first couple of turns I really liked. That first carve just getting so tight in the pocket there, and she brings it around here.
Felicity, you've been in situations where you've had to overcome injuries and then work really hard to get back to your best. I mean, even though you can get out there in the lineup and surf at a pretty high level, Margaret River being on the schedule for delivering big, clean conditions, the last decade.
Well, it's a wonderful time of year to come here. I mean, April, May is just, you're guaranteed pretty much bullseyes as far as swell. Those beautiful autumn offshore conditions in the mornings, and we've been blessed to have them lasting through. Yesterday was light winds all day. Amazing condition.
Also, Wayne Rabbit, Bartholomew and Bugs Tyler, she's just looks so back to her best in these last two contests, as we see Johanne up at the moment just trying to chip away at this requirement. It's a smaller wave, so she's going to have to surf out of her skin here. She lets go of some nice turns as we now move into the second half of this overlapping heat for Tyler Wright and Johanne Defay, so they'll have ultimate priority.
Yeah, we're just having a look at the replay here of Johanne's wave. It was a small one, but I really liked it. She strung together 3 really nice turns and a bit of variety there as well. So this first turn, she just went straight up into the lip, and that's a pretty hard thing to do on a morning like today because there is so much wind around. Surfers are more so opting for these sort of carves on the open face. So I'm liking the different variety that she gave us. Was definitely a smaller wave compared to Tyler's 2 waves, but I think she's going to chip away at probably the requirement.
Tyler, of course, in complete command of the situation, taking the bomb sets.
And here is another bomb. Already has a couple of 7-point rides, looking to improve on one of them here. Great start to this ride, drops back into the bowl, keeping these turns nice and close to the pocket. Just so coiled and ready to strike with turns like that. Big grab rail carve into a strong finish.
Johanne got a smaller wave, and this wave is just cooking.
Yeah, just beautiful open face carve here. Straight up into another open face carve, but I think it's this next turn, the one that she grabs the rail on just there. I absolutely loved that. I'm such a big fan of a grab rail cutty. It's a bit of an older school manoeuvre, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I really also think that she's been working with the coach here. Her wave choice is absolutely impeccable because she's looking for these waves with the big bowls, but with a taper as well, not just the big walls today. And I think that's the difference. And Tyler's wave choice has been amazing, and it just really goes to her power, Ronnie.
Yeah, amazing. And the grab rail carve, it's just a change up in the carving approach.
Yeah.
It shows variation.
Right there, and she didn't just touch.
Absolutely ripped the rail through that face. And I think we can expect a big score, maybe Tyler Wright's best. A really good chance she gets herself up into the excellent range with that ride, and Johanne Defay now is going to have a big task on her hands to turn this one around. 18.5 minutes to go.
She's been picking those bigger waves, but they've got a little bit of a taper today, which has been really smart. Here I think we have Johanne Defay up and riding.
Yeah, Johanne moving to the inside, and it's a smart move because she's found a decent wall to kick things off, but this one stretches out and kind of gets away from her a little bit, so not going to be the 9.66, obviously, that she's chasing.
Sort of waves. I feel like, Tyler's big scores have come from those bigger sets, and it was beautiful surfing, but just the wave selection sort of letting her down. She's got a big task ahead of her.
And you still have some gears left that you can go to. Tyler's just been really strong with those big opening rail turns. And she utilises her priority here for this one. And she drives off the bottom, looking for a big finish here, committed. Not going to turn in a better score, but again, just limiting opportunities for her rival out there at the moment.
And maybe, that's what happens when you're coming back from a layoff through injury. That last section, Felicity, is quite intimidating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's converging water here. She's having one more crack, but I think it's all over. We've only got 5 seconds left.
One thing's for sure, it hasn't felt the same without her at those first few events. Her rehab to get herself back to peak performance levels and start challenging for event wins again, because she's definitely one of the best. But Tyler Wright just too strong here in the 5th heat of the round of 16. She's on her way to the quarterfinals.